Hello model car fans, welcome to the Muscle Car Modeler. My name is Raul, and here I'm going to do some stash ads for the items I bought in September. I didn't buy a whole heck of a lot this particular month. Some months are like that because I was busy working on other stuff and focusing on that. So daydreaming about future projects I didn't do much of, but I did do some. And this is kind of the result of that. Of course, this is AMT's 67 Shelby GT350. It's a great kit. It's not perfect. There's some issues. But if you take your time with it and fit some of those things, it's mainly the front fitting to the body and the rear fitting to the body. And the trunk, just kind of odd as how it builds. But I built 3 of them, so really enjoy it. And I just really love this particular Shelby. It's my favorite of the Shelby Mustangs, the 67 is. So that's kind of why I've shown 3 of them on there. I'll flash them across the screen here, but I have a one stock GT350 I built right out of the box when this kit first came out with the original box art. And then I built a 67 Eleanor Coupe, which you've seen. I've shown that on the channel, and that's from the Scale Productions resin body and photo etch kit. Really nice kit. So built that one, and then I also did a Eleanor convertible that you watched me build on the channel from a resin body, one that I cut into a convertible and kind of remastered and mastered all the parts. That's kind of why this particular kit came to my hands, even though I built 3 of them, and this is number 5 of my projects pile as you start to daydream about projects. That's why this one is sitting in there. But since I got 5 more, there's I want to build one as another stock Shelby GT350, just right out of the box. Was planning on doing that. And another one is a 67 Shelby GT500. Got the big block engine to put in that one, and the photo etch stuff for that. Another 67 Shelby GT500 Super Snake, and I got a bunch of resin parts. That one is something I started a long time ago, probably 15, 20 years ago. What's it dated? 2006 is when I started that project, and it's not finished. I really got to get that one off the box there. And then Jerry Chevalier came out with the GT500 Little Red, which is the coupe, if you don't know what specific car that one is. So I got those 4 in the stash of kits. And so I went to Hobby Lobby and picked this one up for number 5. This one's molded in black. I prefer the molded in white ones, but that's what they had. But it really doesn't matter with what I'm going to do to this one. But getting the front and rear fascias to fit in the trunk, as I mentioned, kind of goofy, but if you take your time, you can glue them on, and I do that before I do the painting and do some of the work on it. So this one's molded in black, like I mentioned. And there's a lot of stuff to this kit. I'm hoping you guys have seen this kit. It's a really nice kit, but I kind of enjoy it. But this one, my biggest plans for this one is I want to turn it into the GT500 convertible, because there's only one of those that were made, and it's been found and restored, and there's a whole story with that particular one, along with Little Red that was recently found. So both of them are one and onlys. So that's why this particular kit. But why now? Why did I go? Because one, this kit's been reissued. The only one I don't have is the metal tin one. I've actually thought about buying it just for the tin, although don't really have a reason for it. But it's because of this kit right here. This is Texas 3D Resins. He calls it his 67 Mustang Trans kit, but it's an Eleanor conversion. And it's really nice, but the main thing I wanted, he's got a nice front bumper here for the Eleanor. A really nice Eleanor hood. So this fits really nicely. The front here with the grill, I mean, it's kind of, for 3D printed. It's really nice. This stuff's really, really cool. So this is really nice, and comes with a lot of the little parts here. The gas cap, all the headlights. The clear lights don't 3D print very well. They're a little frosty. But all of this stuff here, got the exhaust right there, and pretty much everything for the body there. And it's got the side skirts for both sides. You cut them. All 4 of the wheel lips here to mold onto the body. And also he's got the wheels here, which for these kind of shocked me here. Pretty cool. I really don't do much with 3D printed. These wheels, they look really nice, but these 3D printed tires, these things are nice, and they're rubber. That's kind of, I was kind of blown away with that. Goodyear Eagle RSAs. So these wheels are really nice. But the main thing that got me, and they're staggered too. You have your choice of regular or staggered. I went with the staggered ones, and so they're pretty cool. But here's what I wanted. I wanted this engine. I started mocking it together. It's just with the white glue, because it has the Cobra Le Mans valve covers there, the dual quad. Now this is the Police Interceptor engine. It's got a Cobra aluminum oil pan, which the big blocks did not have. That was only the small blocks. It's pretty cool, but that's technically not correct. But for a custom, you know, because it's technically an Eleanor, and when it comes to storyline, there's really not much about what motor is actually really in it. But I had to have these valve covers. Oil pan was really cool. Got some really nice carburetors and all the parts here. And then the headers. And then it's got a top loader 4-speed. The correct air cleaner says Cobra on it. This is really cool. These are the knockoffs for the wheels, by the way. And I really wanted this motor. The only issue was he wasn't willing to sell this motor separately from the rest of this stuff. So I bought this motor strictly for the GT500 convertible that I want to build. Now, there are 2 small issues with this particular one as far as that particular project. That's an automatic tranny. Here's a manual tranny. Not too hard to switch that. This isn't really the correct oil pan. I may leave it, you know, when I get to this project. I may get a regular big block oil pan, which that isn't too hard to find. Headers are pretty cool. I'm not really sure what the car is running for exhaust manifolds, because a lot of 67s, they put headers on some, not on others, and I don't know how well these fit, but these headers are really nice, especially these flanges right here. Check that out. That's pretty cool. So that was my excitement, but I mainly bought this whole kit for the engine. Oh, and he gives you these decals, the GT500 and then the Eleanor plates, but they're blue. You know, more of a green blue, but you know, they're blue instead of black. So, you know, for me, it's like, yeah, but you know, if you want to do the Eleanor with the black stripes, you're getting dark blue decals here. So that was this. And there's one last thing I got to show you that I was super excited about, and I went and bought that because of it. That's kind of a little bit out there for me. You know, I put all this stuff back in this bag here. There we go. Is this right here. Iceman Collections. I saw a preprint of this one that he had, and he brought to one of the club meetings, and I saw the car and I was a little blown away. I'm like, wait a minute. And I think it's funny, he calls it the custom W10. Some people have already shown this kit online, and by the time you see this, unfortunately, he stopped taking orders because it's limited edition. So, you know, he stopped taking the orders already. But really cool kit, and I had to have one of these. I remember when they came out back then, or all the hype they were getting in the magazines, I should say. It is a Vector W8, and it's got the decals for it, and then vacuum formed glass here. It gives you some other stuff, but there's a lanyard. Let me move that out of the way and show some of this stuff here. And this looks like a very nice kit. It's a curbside kit, which when you get into 3D printed, most of them are. But I mean, check out some of the details here. You can see these speakers inside these grills, if you can see that. That's pretty cool. Kind of a simple chassis, but it's got some of the accurate stuff. The shifter here for the automatic tranny, the kinked parking brake lever. These are all parts of the real car. Some of the rear suspension. And if you've seen some of the pictures online of the actual framework, this is fairly accurate, which is pretty nice. Body is really, really cool, although most of the production ones. Now, there are only 22 of these actually made. It's a real long story and very expensive and very rare as far as the real cars go. It's got twin turbo. So there's the body. We got all 4 wheels and tires here. A bunch of the little stuff with the mirrors and the wipers and that. And then we got this stuff here too. The rear suspension. There's no engine in this. But these didn't print very well as far as exhaust. But he gives you a whole nother one here to replace it with. So I can cut that out and put this one in there. Because this one's printed real nice, but this one not so much. The seats here, which have the controls, which are kind of funky, but because they mount this way in the car with the seats as far as the controls go. But seats are really nice. A couple of different wings, and you know, in the parts business, we call these knees. When you need a front left knee or front right knee, and it's all the suspension and brakes and everything for one side. So, and then the dash with the aircraft gauges. And it's got the decal that goes in there. And the steering wheel, which is correct for the Vector. So, and then again, here's another door panel with the speakers. Check that out. You know, that's pretty cool. And then this radiator, if you can see that, you can see the blades through that. That's just kind of cool that you can really see that. And it's just, I don't know how that's going to be to paint, but you can literally see through it. And I think it's kind of showing in the camera. But yeah, that's kind of nuts. And then the headlights here. So you can put these in here, or you have the covers right here to have them in the folded closed position. But looking forward to building this. But this is one that, you know, when he shown this and everything, I'm like, ah. And I remember there was another guy that was mastering one in resin and everything. And I never saw him actually finished it, and he just kind of vanished anyway. But I was pretty excited about his as well. But that one never materialized. But anyway, I figured I would show these off, and you know, they're going to go in my stash. And got to pick a color for this one and figure out what I'm going to do. But fun car, pretty exciting one for me, even though it's really outside of the muscle car mainstream that I mainly stick with. But it's a car I've always thought was really cool. And of course, being a teenager when they were making the headlines and being in the magazines, I saw them in the magazines everywhere, even though it really kind of fell apart. And they claimed some serious stuff with this particular car as far as performance, but it was never actually proven. But anyway, enough about the Vector. You guys, thank you for listening to me babble on here and just show off a few things. You guys, thanks again for tuning in, subscribing, and all your comments. I really do appreciate it. You guys, you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next Saturday.